Hi, welcome to my channel. So in this video, as the title says, I'm going to be showing you how to apply on rev.com for you to be a transcriptionist. So in this video, I'm measuring on being a transcriptionist. So there you are listening to audio or videos and you typing what you are hearing word by word. So I'd already just started the process where you fill in your name, email address. On the previous page you fill in your name, email address, and the country you're from. So on this page now you have to go through the grammar, and then you fill in some of these questions. So I'm just filling in on my own here. I'm filling in for myself, and then after this, so then we move to the next page. Okay, I'm just gonna fill in this one. My husband played football very well. So you just click through your answers, and you just choose your answers. So you choose the correct answers according to you. Now please keep in mind, I'm not at all saying the answers I have chosen are the correct ones. This is what I'm going to submit though, and I'll probably let you know if I go through or not. But I am told that going through is not only going to be because of the grammar, it's because of these questions. There's also another, like here it says I'm gonna have to do grammar and style, and then I have to go through the transcription guideline, then I have to do a transcription sample before I can submit. So it's like there are steps, and everything contributes to whether or not you'll be accepted. And then there's also just now when I was applying, they say there's a waiting list. So that means they have so many people that are applying, because obviously I think it's because of the COVID. Everybody's trying to find ways of making money online, because many companies have shut down and many people lost their jobs. So people are trying to find ways of making money, and obviously I think rev is one of the ways. I do know someone who's using this to make money, and they can actually on a lazy day make like $100 per day. And then sometimes, like when they're very very lazy or they're too busy with other things, that would be like maybe they do one file $10, $20, and then they can do other things. So I do think I wouldn't say this would be something you would want to do as like your only way of making money, because from what I've seen, like from my friend who recommended me to this, um, it's she says it's more like trading. If you've ever tried to trade forex, where you're always scared that maybe you're going to lose your metrics and then they're gonna kick you out, because I'm told they're really very strict in terms of like when you even doing the transcribing. So you have to also, and I've actually just noticed it as well, like even here, if you don't pay attention, some of these answers look like they're so obvious. So if you don't pay attention, you can easily submit wrong answers. Like there was just one I saw where I was thinking they put two correct answers only after I gave it, like here, only after I gave it the second look, that's when I realized that okay, there's this full stop that you probably wouldn't even look at. But if you pay attention, then you see it. But if you don't, I would have chosen any, and I would be thinking, okay, they probably by mistake they put two correct answers. Meanwhile, It's just a matter of you paying attention. And then some of these things, it's a lot of you have to look at uh, looking into, like, googling the way the names are written, the way the words are spelled, because sometimes you don't want to get too familiar with certain words and certain names. So you definitely want to go through it and take your time, especially with this. I'm confident, but hey, we will never know. I might not even make it myself, but I am quite confident that I am going to make it. Well, I have done it before, like before when things used to be really good with Rev, but that's like some very 5 good years ago, and right now things have changed, and I see that there's quite a few restrictions they've now putting in place. So I'm just gonna try and go through the process again. So now I'm going to click, let me just review again my answers before I go to the next page. So in this case, choose an option that is properly transcribed. They're not going to go there anymore because they are so if you're new to transcribing, you would know in what they call non-verbatim, you would have to remove filler words like this, like the ums and the as and the as. So that's why I chose the first one. And then just like here also, you have to remove the ums and the ums that we see here. And sometimes, like the repetitive words that some people, when they're talking, they just try to use those words often, you can also get rid of them. Well, that's how I know it. I mean, there's a style guide which you can also, let me just open it here, which you can also go through, and you get to learn how they like to do things. You see, like with nouns, punctuation, readability. So you can go through the style guide while you're answering the questions, so that you don't just answer whatever. So here they say omit filler words such as arms, like remove false starters and repetitions. I was going to the store, I was going to the store. So you would have to remove these. So I'm taking this and I am applying it. And then it also says here, change informal contractions to formal speech. Going to want to, but never change contractions, don't cut. So in this case, I'm going to take this guide, what they just said in the guide. Let me just check a few more things. DIY, okay, so these other things, I'm sure I'll use them in the next page. So I think I've gone through everything and I understand, and I'm being very careful. I'm being very, very careful to make sure that I don't just submit. We're going to Paris in a few days. Okay, so I'm just checking here my answers again. Regarding the filler words, they said something here about I was going to the store. I think I'm using this, so that's how I changed my statement here. She really didn't know, so I had to choose this one because that's how they put it there. So I remove that and I just keep this one. Then we go on to the word choices. Now I also know that, like I was saying, I did it 5 years ago, and it wasn't like for a long time that I did it with them, because I then I moved places and countries, and then I had to more my passwords for that. I'd forgotten them. So I'm not using that account anymore, which is why I'm just trying to do this one again to see how things have changed. Okay, I think my answers are good. The way I see it, I think they're really good. So I'm gonna click next page. So on the next page, then we go through the transcription guide. Now I have gone through most of these offline last night when I was just looking at or thinking about doing this video. And as a former employee, I think I do know, like as somebody who's been doing transcribing for life on REV and off REV as well, so I kind of know most of the things that we need to follow. It's really what they have said all here, all these things. And I would really recommend that if you're very new, you really have to go through it and understand what they're saying here. Even if you're not so new, because I think a few things change, there's things going on, a few things changes, life change and rules change. So you might want to, just make sure you go through everything, and you're not missing anything, and you're not ending up thinking you know what you're doing, and then you find out that you don't. So I'm about to go to where I have to transcribe. Right, I just click transcribe there. So now I have to transcribe this video. So this is the REV transcription application. So with REV, some of the files you get them with what they call a draft, I'm told, and this draft is where most of the text has been already typed for you. You just need to go through it, and then when you go through it, you then look at the mistakes that were made, and then you type them yourself. And also where in case some words were missed, you then fill them in yourself. So I'm just gonna go through the guide and do.
Please edit and transcribe as needed, correcting misspellings, researching names, and attributing speech to the correct speaker to create an accurate and complete transcript.
Right, so I'm just going through their
please listen
guide
carefully
here.
to the audio file all the way to the end. If you're interested in REV, please listen carefully to the audio file all the way to the end, and please edit and transcribe as needed, correcting misspellings, researching names, and attributing speech to the correct speaker to create an accurate and complete transcript. Let's talk a little bit about REV and its expectations. Great. If you're interested in REV, please listen carefully as needed, correcting misspellings, researching names, and attributing speech to the correct speaker to create an accurate and complete transcript. Let's talk a little bit about REV and its expectations.
Great. So tell us how REV got started.
CEO Jason Chicola says that the
I'm
idea
just
for
following
REV.com
this
was
now.
inspired by his
Just
time at
created a
Odesk.
speaker where I
Mr.
shouldn't
Chicola
have.
started the site with co-founder and former
Let's
Odesk
start
colleague Josh
again.
Breinlinger
Let's start
in 2010.
again.
They were if you're interested in REV, please listen carefully to the audio file all the way to the end, and please edit and
So here I'm gonna pause, and I'm going to correct the mistakes. Oh, okay. So you just go through the audio, and you go through the transcript, and you make sure what is being said on the audio is the same thing as what you are typing. And you also make sure excuse me, you also make sure you make every every text is obviously accorded to the right speaker. If you're not given names, then you don't put names, but if you do hear names, then you have to make sure that you type the correct names. So for example, I'm just going to go through this. So I want to just check this name. Is it the correct name? So it's Jason Chikola, not Chakota. So there I have to change that. Jason Chikola. CEO Jason Chikola says blah 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 blah. Okay, let's just start here. Alright, so as I said, you have to go through the transcript and follow what they're saying, and just make sure you pay attention to the spellings of the words. You research names where you don't understand, and you really pay attention to make sure that whatever is being said is what you are reading, because it's very easy, like in this case. I need to create a new speaker here. Let's see.
What does REV look for in a freelancer?
A strong
So this should be a new speaker, which will be speaker number 3, and then I'll just create speaker. And this is speaker number 2, this will be speaker number 3. So it's very easy to miss these small mistakes, and I think that's what they pay attention to a lot. And they can penalize you for that. You can either not go through, or they just won't take you. So let me just edit speaker number 1 with a different color. Okay. Alright, so I am thinking that I did a great job here. So I'm thinking, let me just listen to it one more time.
If you're interested in REV, please listen carefully to the audio file all the way to the end, and please edit and transcribe as needed, correcting misspellings, researching names, and attributing speech to the correct speaker to create an accurate and complete transcript. Let's talk a little bit about REV and its expectations.
Great. So tell us how REV got started.
CEO Jason Chikola says that the idea for REV.com was inspired by his time at Odesk. Mr. Chikola started the site with co-founder and former Odesk colleague Josh Breinlinger in 2010. They were joined by other MIT classmates who built this platform, which now specializes in transcription, captions, foreign subtitles, and document translation. REV started Temi as well.
What does REV look for in a freelancer?
A strong command of the English language is essential. It's important to know which word fits the context, such as they're going to get their books from there. We also value research skills such as correctly spelling Cisco Food Company, Cisco software, as well as C# and SQL programming languages. Your files are graded on accuracy and formatting, so you're going to need to follow REV style guidelines. It's important that quality is consistent.
So how do you handle?
Right, so I think I'm done. I think I have done a good job with the file, and I'm going to submit, and then we're going to wait on their notification. They say it will be probably 2 to 4 weeks, before I get an answer. But I do know that like usually the more they delay, the most likely you're going to be accepted. If they reply to you very quickly, it's one of those unfortunately kind of emails where you know that they're not going to take you, but I think they'll give you some days before you can reapply, so you can wait while you're going through your English, going through your listening skills and all of that. Now please, I am not saying my answers are the only right answers. Only Rev knows ones I've sent. Now, I would not advise anyone to just copy answers and paste, because you can make mistakes. And I can never know if I passed because of these answers for the audio, or for the recording, the transcript, or it was because of the answers for my grammar. So you can't really copy. And sometimes I think it also, there's many factors to it, and you can't just copy and paste. You find that you might just fail just by doing that. So do your best to pay attention. I'm going to click submit for now, and then I'm going to read their service agreement. Okay, I'm gonna have to pause the video while I'm reading this, because this is really long. Well, I'm actually going to download this because I think it's really long. In the meantime, see, company may terminate this agreement, close your account with or without notice, or without cause for any reason, or for no reason in maintenance. Okay. One of those familiar clauses we all know from certain bosses. Contract can just be terminated. You don't get benefits, blah blah blah. Alright, so I'm going to agree and I'm going to submit. Okay, it says I must read because I didn't scroll all the way down. But I would advise that if you are very, very new to REV, you haven't gone through some of these things, please take your time to read the whole agreement, the whole service agreement. All right. So I click submit, and I'm all done. Thank you for taking time to submit your application. We know that it was a lot of work. Well, it was a lot of work. And we appreciate your effort. We will review your application, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so now we wait until we get the response from REV. Okay, I will do my best to let you guys know what happened, whether I was accepted or not, and to take it from there. In the meantime, leave your comments below. If you've been working with REV, or if you are working with REV currently, you might want to just help with whatever information you think can help others. Right now, I feel like everybody's really just trying to make money and find ways of making a living, because the virus has really caused so much havoc in people's life right now, and supporting each other is not a bad thing. So I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye.